Bacon. What do you think about the track? What do you think about the track?
Nah, Gio, that's all you, bro.
What do you mean, bro? Nah.
I could go. I
Get
could go
with
first.
it, Gio.
Oh,
I mean-
Gio, you're starting it.
Yeah.
Yo, what it be, what it do? Welcome back to another MFer's video feedback review. Woo! We're about to get right into this thing. It's been a little while. So, of course, this is another two-parter. Unfortunately, I don't want to, make you guys wait for the content, but we don't want to give you guys a super long video either. So, just quick note, I had my 21st birthday. Wish me happy birthday in the comments. Everybody else doesn't matter. But we have Chummy, Gio, Silverwolf. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see it, but I have no idea why I'm doing that. We're just going to go ahead and get started. I believe the first song is by Spock and Steph, and it is called... Wow, a lot of songs.
I3. He put it in the chats, in the song's feedback, asking for a name for it. So
Can't pronounce that.
Rye 3 ID. I'm going to go with that.
Let's call it that for now. Yeah.
It's only 57 seconds long, so it's not going to be too long. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get it. Let's go. I wasn't ready. Is that it? Wow.
Cool.
I think we should start by naming this track for him. So, Gio, what's good? What's the name of this track?
Come up with a name, brother.
Straight Up Fire? Or 2000...
Straight Up Fire.
2000 stuff said pretty much. Skrillex.
2000 step shot. It's really fire. Wow!
Yeah,
it was really good.
I wasn't the only one who heard that shit. I was like, what?
All right, so we're going to let Gio go ahead and go first. What do you think of this?
Why me, though? why me?
Gotta break the ice, Brody. You weren't in the last video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, here. Give me a second. So,
all
right, I'm just composing myself. Give me a second, dude, okay? All right. I think the track overall sounds really good. I really like the vibe they're trying to go for. It's very old school electronic vibe to it. It's really, really fun. Only things I would really say is like in the 6 second, there's like a cutoff or like a cut in kicks or something like that. I don't know really what you did there, but it sounds like if you just straight up cut up the song and just kept on playing it, I kind of like ruined my immersion in the track. So be careful with those cuts that you're trying to go for. That's all it really. I'm just saying. Like, I don't remember in the track, but I heard it like 2 or 3 times. I'm pretty sure. But other than that, the track sounds really solid, and I'm really looking forward to the full version of this and the name.
Love
yeah,
that.
Let's get started
all right,
with that, man.
Chummy, what's the name of this song?
Ooh, man, I'm pretty bad with names. Typically, I just go on a random word generator to get all the names on my tracks. So let me pull up a random name or word generator.
Oh, man.
It takes 2 seconds. Here we go.
Nobody got time for that.
Yo, the name of the song is Soldier. I guess.
Soldier.
All right, so
You sure it's not solder?
I guess they kind of scream sometimes. I guess I don't know.
Soldiers.
But no, it's really cool. I like the modern rhythm style with kind of like an older dubstep, melodic dubstep kind of bass tone that they use. the white noise at the end kind of threw me off, but it's just a snippet of the song, so I guess it doesn't matter. Build up synths were cool. The drop was good. The drop was like done. That was really good. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about it though.
Okay. I think this track should be called WAH! Like WAH, just that. For me, it was a really fun head bobbing track. Like, I like old school Skrillex and stuff like that. Like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites or that. Yeah, those stuff. Anyways, but it gives me those vibes, and it's just really fun for me because I like the like slow head bob stuff to it. Even though it's like it seems like it's going super fast, it's like doom. It gives you like kind of like the jazzy beat feel, even though it's dubstep. So, as man, what you think, Subwoof? What's the name of this track?
Ooh, names. I'm not good with names, but it had some interesting warping sounds. Definitely like some ear mind games going on. It had some interesting elements to it, man. So not what you would expect from a typical electronic track. So keep up the good work, man.
Real quick. Something really cool that I would love to hear in the track is you playing with the lead and giving it like a portamento and experimenting with that a little bit more. I would love to hear that. That's pretty
For
much
the people who don't know what that is, explain the portamento.
it's just literally sliding notes, yeah. Like the
There
lead
you go.
would benefit a lot from that. So
Perfect.
just go like show me some.
I say you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, I tried I thought my mic was muted, and so I pressed the unmute button, but I actually pressed the turn on camera instead.
Oh, love that.
Why don't you just do that then?
Okay, so the next track that we have is by IC. It's I Miss You, and it's going to be inside of Google Chrome because it's a Dropbox link. So let's go ahead and click over there to that, guys. And 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, I'm interested.
How you gonna fall out of love like that? Said you wanted this, but all you need is sex. Said you needed me, said you wanted me. Don't you lie like that? I'll love you, I'm sorry, I beg you. I need you, I want you to let me down, let me down. You don't want my love now, no. Do you still look back to what we had?
I don't know if it's because I'm not used to this type of track, but the vocals seem just like offbeat.
Like I miss you. Do you love him the way you love me too? I'll love you, I'm sorry, I beg you. I need you, I want you to let me down, let me down. You don't want my love now, no.
So I think the reverse piano is really cool. Really cool soft vibe to it. And then the vocals came in, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. And then all of a sudden, with the reverb piano, it's kind of hard to keep myself grounded in like where I was in the song, like where I was in like the measure and the beats and stuff. And then when the bass got in, I kind of totally got lost. I was kind of like, where am I? So I think if there's like a kind of drum track in the beat somewhere or something that we could really like hold on to like the tempo with. It almost seemed like the vocals were out of time, but I don't know if they were or not. But I mean, I like the feel of the track, but that'd be my complaint of the song.
Yeah, I agree. And since Gio doesn't want to go, so we'll make him go last. So
Sounds good to me.
I think this track kind of reminds me of like a demented lullaby. And I agree with Chummy, just kind of like, you can't tell if it's on the beat, after listening to more of it, I just feel like it's kind of intentional. What I was going to say initially was that I feel like whatever you're using, which he said it's a reverse piano, is just it's hitting off time. Because sometimes when you have like a VST, it has a delay when you hit it, so you play it early for the notes to actually come in on time. But I think it was kind of purposeful in this for it to seem like a demented lullaby. Like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. The voice, kind of like you were more talking, I guess, rather than singing or rapping or anything along the lines. Just kind of like, lay me down, down, lay me down. Down. It's kind of scary. But that's all I have to say. So what?
Oh man, let me go ahead and start with the bad first. I guess the vocals, like I think it's the accent, man. I'm gonna start with that. Like I think that was probably what was throwing it off. However, the panning and expression, it was very pendulum-like, man. It was like a lot of moving parts to it that just kind of created some interesting elements to it, you know. But I get it, the lullaby sound, like it kind of fits that picture. It's very accurate, the description of it. Yeah. What do you think, Gio?
Yeah, I really like the atmosphere a lot. Like the instrumental sounds really, really good, but I would say that maybe you should throw in a little bit more variations around the second and the second part, the second breakdowns and stuff. Like I just broke down. Give me a second. Give me a second because I really like the song. I really want this song to work, but it's like I'm trying to like because I tend to really enjoy this kind of songs, but there's something about this one that like that it could work, you know? Like maybe you should in the second drop, I guess you can call it, like maybe add some different variations and in the breakdowns make them a little bit longer. Don't keep like the same tempo, I guess you can say, like the same speed. Like try to slow everything down in the breakdowns. That will give a lot more of a emotion to the part, I guess I would call it.
Yeah, I agree. More variation in the background at least, because I felt like a lot of it was repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think the drums, I forgot to add that part, but yeah.
I really like the concept of this track. I'm not gonna lie, like it sounds like it has so much potential, but like you just need to work a little bit more on the vocal side as well, but more on the structuring, I would say, overall of the track. Like try to slow things down in certain parts, give it a little bit more uniqueness to them, and I feel like you can get something really really nice here. I really like the reverse piano too that you got there. The atmosphere is like really good. Reminds me a little bit of Eden.
Of
I'm not
course,
gonna
you
lie.
would mention Eden.
I have to, okay?
Eden sucks.
I
Okay.
have
All
to.
right,
What?
next track.
Fight
Yeah,
me.
that was great. We're gonna move
Man.
on to the next track.
Uh,
All right,
Okay, hang
so
on.
for
Let
the
me.
next one, we have Sanctuary by Eli Fox.
If we had the member of like the week, like the MFer of the week, I'd give it to Eli.
Yeah, 100%.
definitely.
He is the most active in here. So here we go, listening to another one of his tracks. Actually, before that,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and give a shout out to Icy. This was actually his first ever submission. So
That was a pretty
show
good
that
one.
man some love in the comments. All right, here we go.
Really,
3,
really looking
2.
looking forward for your stuff.
Are we
Icy.
opening the link or the?
Just press play on
We'll
the
play it in
SoundCloud.
chat. Play it in chat.
Cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I think mine is loading. Oh.
You are my sanctuary. I come to you in spirit. Light and golden, I'm wrapped in the delicate grip of heaven.
It's a little oppressive. Wow. Okay, so Wolf, I think you should start this one.
Okay. The drums, they seemed a bit. I don't know. Like it seemed like you were going for something like Phil Collins would go. I don't know if it for me. I don't know. Uh, baseline was it was like it was interesting. Like overall, I don't know. There might have been some conflicting elements in there. What do you think, Chummy?
I I really like the song actually. I think um I think the sound design was pretty cool. I don't know if he like used Citrus or if just a bunch of his stuff was like coincidentally FM, but I like the sound to a lot of FM synthesis stuff. Um, some reason the vocals for me on all of Eli's tracks kind of has like a low quality vibe to it. I don't know if but I can never tell if that's something that's on purpose or if it's kind of just like his vibe, like American authors or something. But but I think since this track was like submitted, like Eli's been working on like getting his vocals up in quality. The song structure is really cool as well. I like your breakdown that you have at uh, like 3 minutes. It's kind of just like a nice, kind of like a new section, and well, the vocals is just nice to sink your ears into all of that. Let me just think if there's anything else. Um, I like the toms and the drums. Just be careful of EQing toms. Like take up like a pretty big space if you want them to sound the way like a tom should. So you may just have to like turn them down in volume just so they don't interfere with anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. I like.
Got you. Gio, what are you thinking?
I really, really like the vibe that you try to go for here. To be honest, the thing that I like the most was definitely the intro. Like when it's really, really ambient. I would love to hear you like experiment with that genre specifically, like ambient, very ambient stuff. And yeah, I think that the mixing and everything sounds really, really good. But for me, the only thing that I could say is like I feel like the track just dragged on a little bit too long. But that's pretty much it. Like I feel like you could have compressed that a little bit more, if that makes sense. But overall, the track is really good.
Eli, you always like mellow us down, bro. Like every time, man.
I would really, really love to hear some ambient from you. Like the intro was really good. Like
Yeah.
really good.
So
Not a thing.
I think this is one of the better tracks you've submitted. It's really good. I can tell you've been practicing and taking in all the feedback that we've been giving you so far, and I just want to challenge you to take it that step further.
And make a dubstep song.
Make a dubstep song. But no, for real, like it's really good. The only thing I was going to say again was about the vocals, and I think Chummy kind of hit the nail on the head when he said they mostly sound low quality, but not necessarily like bad. Just like
It's like
whatever
the
you're doing.
recording.
You said what?
It's like the recording. Like the quality is being lost somewhere from his voice actually coming out of his mouth going through the microphone,
Yeah.
going through FL Studio, going through the mix, going through the master. So
Yeah.
somewhere between that, like the singing itself is not bad, but
At all. It's
somewhere.
really good. But yeah, you're
And the
losing.
quality, I'll say the quality's not terrible. It's just like the way it's coming through compared to the way your track is sounding. It just doesn't seem like it 100% meshes well or fits well. But I will say, like, I could tell that you've been implementing just like some of the vocal notes you've been doing as well. And your mixing as well as your sample selection has been amazing on this track.
Yeah,
Like, I thought it sounded literally amazing. One thing that I was thinking though, like that, dun, 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 I felt like it's a little loud. Maybe like bring it down just some. I just feel like it's a little oppressive to the rest of the song. Like you can't hear as much of anything else whenever. As well as the part when you broke it down and it was just like a little bit of drums and a bass line. I think if you would have had maybe either just one string or one piano note, like long note playing for different like whole note measures, or you had even just a long note chord playing behind that very low, it'll give it just a little bit more feeling, kind of build into that track. Because once you just had the vocals, the bass line, and the drum, it felt empty. Not necessarily empty, but like that was missing something. So I think if you incorporate something right there, that'll be great as well. But this has literally been one of the best tracks that you've submitted and that I've heard. So I just wanted to say, great job, bro. It's amazing.
that first minute, freaking insane. Literally perfect. Literally perfect. I will listen to that all day. Straight up, dude.
I don't think the track was too long, by the way. I think for what you were making it out, it was really good. So sorry, Gia, I disagree.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Gio, you.
Shut up!
I think we got one more song, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So for this last song, I'm a little nervous because everybody else has started the reviews, so I guess I have to start first this time.
Yeah, are we doing 24 hours?
24.
24 radio.
Who's the
Actually,
artist?
don't know who's this by.
It's by Delkin.
Delkin.
Never mind. It's by Delkin.
Cool.
Interesting.
Okay, so 24 radio. Delkin, I'm afraid because we always love your tracks.
I actually want to listen to Sanctuary again.
Oh yeah, Sanctuary is pretty good too this time.
I
But
literally just want to listen
just
to that
ending it
track.
off, I feel like Delkin has to be like the perfect person to end it off.
He says
Yeah.
he's mostly asking about the structure of the song.
Okay,
All right.
perfect. So song structure. Make sure you guys really dial in and see what the structure is, because we already know you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is great, Delkin. Why'd you submit?"
For real.
Okay, let's get into it. So, 3, 2, 1, play.
Nice.
want to hear what Shomi has to say about this track.
Well, I'm
Um,
first.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm first. Yeah.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine, dude.
yeah, shut up, Gio.
Shut up.
Right?
I love that you see him like unmute, yo, shut up, Gio, and muting.
It's like he heeds
Okay.
his own advice.
I have so much to say. Wow. Joking. I'm disappointed. I'm just kidding. Someone's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
No, this is a really good track. I feel like for some reason I feel like this is different from what I'm used to hearing from you. But one thing I was gonna say is not that it was repetitive, but that you had that like a single element playing up until like the last two measures, like dun 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 dun.
Like,
Yeah,
like
so
melody.
a pluck.
yeah, what that played from the beginning of the song all the way up, like right before the end, which is not bad because you had a lot of elements overlapping it. This is it, and it's behind the element right here. But you had it overlapping with a bunch of, which wasn't bad. But I just think I would have loved to hear like a different variation without that one being there. One thing I was going to say, because you asked for advice or feedback about structure. In the beginning, you had like, I don't know if it was a reverse hi-hat or something. Gio probably knows,
it's a
Chubby probably
reverse
knows,
crash.
Silver probably. I never know this stuff. But it was reversing at the beginning for like the first measure. And then you had something else come in pulsating. And then it came back afterwards, like to close it off before building more elements on top, which was, I thought that was really nice. Like just kind of like a cool intro like this. It's building from this, then back into this, and then you moved into something else, which was good. Only thing that I could say is I was expecting a bigger drop like earlier. Like I felt like the beginning wasn't dragged out too long, but I was expecting something to hit a little bit sooner than it did. Like I don't know if you remember earlier in the video I said like that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to come a little sooner though. Yeah, I think at one point the bass line came in, and that was my favorite part because it just, even though it was just a simple bass line, it sounded different than what I had been hearing before. Even though everything else was building on already, it just sounded different already. I'm gonna let Chummy go because Gio wants to hear him so bad, and he doesn't want to hear my.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Unlike D Bacon Boy, I'm not disappointed.
I'm not disappointed either. I was joking. It was a joke.
Yeah.
He's joking. But I think the song structure is just okay.
The strong structure.
The song
Yeah.
structure, you can edit it out. Don't worry. Movie magic.
I'm not editing.
I think it's just okay. The second half is good, but like I don't know. I just didn't think like the first half was exciting enough to really stretch anything out that long. I think a better structure would be to the beginning where you just have the little saw plucks, and then that increases, beat comes in, and then you kind of turn that into like a kind of like a drop at like kind of like the 1 minute mark, and that goes for like 16 or maybe 32 measures, probably 16 though, and then it dials down into that really soft section where you put the cutoff filter on the pluck, kind of sits back for like 8 measures, and then the bass comes in, and then you can do another kind of build up with the new bass part and the new little kind of lead pluck thing, the other saw part, and then that goes into the second drop, which would be more exciting than the first drop. So that'd be like the climax of the, and then you can have it fade out into the end. Versus now you kind of have like a really long lead up with not a whole lot of moving parts, up to like like 120 where it dips down into a really soft section, and then it goes into the drop at like the 230 mark.
Yeah.
Also, I
He
think
just built the whole song for you.
I also think like the I kind of with the second or with the drop at like the 230 mark, I kind of never mind. I just listened
Okay.
again and I don't have the same thing to think about it. But I mean it's cool. All the songs that I listen to, um, all of the beats remind me a lot of Dead Mouse, which is cool. I like Dead Mouse. So
Perfect. What do you think, Gia?
He goes for what?
Silver, if you're going to end us off.
Cool.
All right. It's hard to say. I'm actually. It's weird for me to say this, but I really didn't like the track for multiple reasons. I feel like the structure, like the beginning part, is okay, like Chummy said, but I feel like I don't want to wait like 2 minutes and 15 seconds for the drop to actually hit. If you know what I'm trying to say, like Bacon said that. Bacon said it best when he said that it should have come in a little bit sooner because I just feel like it just dragged in a little bit too much in that part. And also, I feel the drop wasn't impactful enough. I feel you used a little bit too much of the same synths and little variation to them. I don't know what to say apart from that. Like the mixing
yeah, bro, he
and
asked you
everything's really
to
good.
critique the song structure, not tear his life apart. Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. I'm being completely honest. I don't know. Like I just feel like I don't know, like this completely missed the mark for me, I guess. I like your stuff to be honest, but I don't know, man. Like I feel like this one needs a lot more attention. Sound sampling, like the sound that you picked, sound selection, sorry, was really good. Though. And that I'll give you that. The synth and everything is really good. The plugs, everything is good. It's just a matter of how you actually use it that I feel like the execution was a little bit poorly there. But
Before you go,
pretty good.
Silver, because I know you're ready, Silver. So there you go. What I want to say is, whenever I'm like building a new, what I do is I put the same full drop down like all over the song, and then I'll duplicate the patterns, and then I'll modify all the patterns a little bit, just like a tiny bit, and then put them all together separately at different parts that I feel like sound. And then I'll choose from those patterns what I want to actually incorporate, and then I'll cut stuff out, let it build up into what I want, and then drop back out. And I feel like what you did was step one, the full, step two, a bunch of variations, but you didn't go back and pick your variations and modify your variation, which is why a lot of it sounds like it's all small tweaks or little things that got changed or a different instrument got added, something got taken away. Because it was like you were trying a bunch of different things. So maybe it's more of an incomplete track as opposed to it is just like a finished track. Go ahead, Silver.
Actually, I have another thing to say about this track. Real quick.
Hey man.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
I hate you.
Silver's like, can I talk?
Man, it's like, okay. So I got so many things to say about this track, man. First off, I mean, I think Bacon and Gio, they stated it perfect, nail on the head, right it is as it is. Like, man, it's weird because I got really mixed feelings about this track. I'm very conflicted. They brought up the fact that it's like little variation in it, and I couldn't agree more. But I mean, I just love the track so much, man. It's amazing. But when it comes to, since you asked about structure, man, this thing All right, so we start with the chimes. Then it gets in with the kick and the bass. Like, okay, so you got something going, and then it goes to the reverse crash cymbals, which were brought in several times over, and then it's a riser. Like, it's something you'd expect. But I think the part that stood out to me the most was like the 130 synth, like those mids in there. Something about it. It just had the right timbre, that sound I was looking for, and it just I think that was my favorite part of it. Uh, but the structure wise, like the chimes, kick, bass, and reverse crash, I think that was the most that was the center or the core of the song, and probably could have been mixed up a little bit better. Maybe throw like Bacon was saying, throw a different pattern in completely. That probably could have brought some more life to it. I mean, once again, my favorite part was that those 130 mids, like, can't state that enough. And I think this was one hell of a swan song to end off this MFer's review track. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I'm
I
probably
actually
gonna
have
get a
another.
lot of hate.
I have another thing that I'll say. I guess not about the track, but to Duncan. I like this track is giving me like the more I listen to it, it's giving me really big Deadmau5 vibes, which I basically started music because of Deadmau5, and when I would make songs earlier, um, I would make these super long build to get to the drops, and I would mix them and I'd export them, and then I'd sit back and I'd listen to like this 1.5 minute or 2 minute long build, and I'd be like, damn, this isn't very good, just because there's not enough exciting movement in the build-ups. Like in Deadmau5's tracks, he modulates so many different things, and there's always different percussion coming in, or there's different parts coming in that it keeps it exciting for those 1.5 minutes, and then the drop is always like super high energy and stuff like that. I think this is kind of just like a sedated Deadmau5 song, and the fact that it has this really long build up, but the build up isn't as, I don't know, I guess exciting.
Damn, Shimmy, you talking about me, dude? Gee.
Shut up, Gio.
He doesn't mute his mic this time.
But I mean, it's really good nonetheless, though.
All in all, these were some great tracks. Some advice for everyone who put submissions in for video feedback. I think all of us can probably agree when we first started making music, all of our intros were extremely long. And that was something I personally had to get better at. Just like people, when they listen to music, they want to be captured. So if the intro captures them, great. But what's really going to capture them is hearing that intro that's like building them up really fast right to what they're here for, what they're here for the songs. And that's what a lot of the feedback I get whenever I'm submitting my songs to other people for blogs and everything. It's just like they feel like their attention wasn't captured quick enough. So for all of you guys out there, make sure that when you play back your track, that you're not listening to it as a producer, but you're listening to it as a listener, thinking, you know, do I like this just off the rip, or am I only saying I like this because I made it, you know? So that's a quick thing. But this has been what episode has this been so far?
That's a good question. I couldn't answer that.
Isn't it 5 or 6 or?
It's 5. I'm pretty
Why
sure it's
do
5,
you
I think.
drink a drink but you don't food a food?